box.
What is in the box?
Guess what's in the box?
A human head.
No. You're
Next.
never going to guess.
F-Aptasia.
No.
You bought the company.
No.
You called Frank and were like, oh, I have those, and I used those back in the day. SCWD. I can't remember what that's something. What did that stand for?
Switching.
Oh, so it's right there.
Water
Director. Boy, someone stayed up late at night coming up with that acronym.
Yeah. So it's a, if people don't know, you can still get them new.
Was that the early 2000s? It wasn't the 90s. That was the early 2000s.
Yeah. But
You
they're
can still get them new?
Yeah, brand new. The company's still in existence.
Oh my God.
And I realized, so it's, there we go. So it's got an input at the bottom. Let's see if I can get there. It's got an input at the bottom, and then it's got a gearing inside of it that makes water go this way, and then it gears around and goes the other way. So I've got those two adductors or penductors in the back of my tank.
Yeah.
And they've each got their own valve. And I'm going, I could have one more output to use somewhere else in the tank or use as a hose or something, you know?
Yeah.
And these things don't need to be on at the same time. And I'll get more flow actually if all the flow goes to one and all the flow goes to the other. So I saw these in Panama.
Are you serious?
At a little aquarium in Panama, and they have them on every tank. And I went, I want one of those again.
So I used them a lot in the early 2000s. That one right there accepts 1/2-inch flexible hose.
Yeah.
There's a larger version, but I learned to hate it.
Yeah.
Because it never worked. Now
I got the big one too.
Oh, you did?
I got a 1-inch one, and I think I've got a 3/4-inch one somewhere.
I never heard.
Oh, and this one's threaded.
Yeah, yeah.
Why did you not like?
And Richard, another thing on that big one, the top comes off to clean it easier.
Yeah. So why did you hate it?
It never. I remember I tried with different pumps, and I paid attention to what gallons per hour is asking me for.
Yeah.
But it would always stick. It would get something grown into it, you know, and I would clean it. It's also a little nerve-wracking because the smaller one, you can't really clean it. You can soak it in 10% or whatever, but you can't open it up.
Yeah.
But the big one always made me nervous too, because it's like a thin O-ring and whatnot. Like
that's why the big one makes me nervous. I should have bought a 3/4-inch one as well, because I'm not sure where mine is. But anyway, I'm going to try it out and see what if it gives some more dynamical flow.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say, since we're talking about flow, and I guess we'll put the name of the company down at the bottom in case anybody wants one, to get a squid. We'll put the link, is, you know, on Wild Reefs, and the reefs in Fiji were in great shape, and the reefs in Tonga were fucking unbelievable that we saw. But the thing, we so underestimate flow in our tanks, and it's not jets of flow, you know, it's the whole mass of water moving. So I think I'm at Reef Retreat, I'm going to present on flow. So I'm going to have to do a bunch of experimental tanks so I can show, because it's so hard to talk about. But man, so much water moves on wild reefs.
And that's the tricky thing, because we think about, like, you know, we hear like velocity or what, but what you can't forget is all the stuff we had in the past to move water is like you were just saying, shoots this little jet, and it's not like that. It's an entire wall of water that moves.
Well, I never would have expected it with these two Jabo Puck, you know, Nero ripoffs, facing each other, being on pulse at the same time.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that'll be terrible, right? Because they'll interact in a way that's going to make the flow not good. It's going to make it too harsh.
Yeah.
And everything in the tank's bouncing gently. I mean, it's...
Yeah, if you dial it down enough, and then...
No, they're all the way up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot about flow that I think are mind stories that make sense. And when we actually bother to take the time to experiment with it, it's surprising.
Yeah.
So I'll next episode, I plan to take you on a tour of this tank.
Cool.
And show you a little bit of the different flow. But I'm really, really freaking happy with them.
Nice.
Yeah, so flow, 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 flow. And it's about getting the major thing that Adam Stouty took away from when I talked with him about it, which I'm trying to say to everyone, which is not anything we didn't know, but it's saying it again baldly. You want to get the whole mass of the water moving.
Yeah.
And you can do that with millions of jets everywhere, so it's moving everywhere, or you can make a kind of a gyrish thing. And again, and the second part of that is if you can get it moving one way in the tank and then the other way in the tank, and then in both ways of the tank at the same time, then you've got flow that's reaching everywhere.
I've experienced very large tanks where you would put very big like circulation pumps and like imagine a 12-foot long tank, okay?
Yeah.
But like a MP60 at each side, and you think that's good. My experience has been it creates hella dead spots because exactly what you said, even though an MP60 isn't something that's gonna throw that fine of a, a jet of water, but you do need to move the entire thing, stop it, and then move it, another direction.
Yeah.
Just two rip roaring, pumps in on a big old tank. It's got to be, you got to, and that thing you and I have talked about before, if you pulse too fast, you're just making the water do this.
Yeah.
Where it's like you need to sometimes, well, in the chaos of it, sometimes you do that.
Yeah, and I saw a tank, a 400-gallon tank with a wave box on it, a Tunza wave box.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
That because it's sucking and pushing. The other way to do it, like if I was like this tank that I'm talking about doing here, either it will have a Biz or Pantaray. Pantaray's got a new pump that changes direction.
Inline one. Yeah.
Yeah. So either it'll do that, or you put 4 big pumps on each side that can be controlled individually. That way you could put a gyre from top to bottom, both directions, or bottom to top, and from right to left or left to right, high and low. And feels like that's really how you would get everything moving. Because if it's coming, you can reinforce it by going, if it's going left to right in the front, it's going right to left in the back. And you reinforce that motion. And you've got to give it time to move. It's not like instant. And you've got to see how big is the plume, all kinds of shit. I'm sorry, you were going to say?
No, I was saying that would be interesting. I was just thinking of that because if you just plugged pumps into an apex, and like let's say you had 4 return pumps, but they weren't big,
Yeah.
4 smallish return pumps. But then I was thinking like however often you had them on and off, because return pumps don't really love to be like turned on and off for all that long. But if you had, that would be a call where I would say it would make sense to get a really expensive pump like an Abyss that can handle that sort of abuse better.
And it's easier. You can just ramp them up and down.
Yeah, that's
the true. Ramping is a big deal because it pushes in a way that we don't get. Right?
No, and the other thing too is think about because you and I know what happens if the jacket to the impeller gets a little swollen when you turn it off and it sticks.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come back on. If you're just ramping down, like it should never be like that. And that'd be interesting if you could go, I mean, that'd be crazy to have 4 Abyss pumps. Maybe that's not necessary, but you have this one come down to 80 and then this one comes up 20%. So truly your gallons per hour flowing through the system isn't really changing. It's just the pumps are changing.
Yeah. And that's where something like a squid or actuated ball valves actually might make a lot of sense. Oh shit. There was something important that was in my head about flow right there. That, the new tank I'm talking about, if I do it, it'll have 8 inches to a foot on each side that you won't see.
I've always wanted to do that. I know exactly what you're getting at.
Right? Because otherwise you've got fucking pumps on the side and you have to look at them.
I've wanted to do that for a long time.
I'd like that to be hidden. So, when you start thinking about these things and getting, going through a lot of different trials, you kind of go, wow, just a box of water isn't what I want anymore. I want to set up the environment to maximize the pretty.
Yeah, and I guess, it's funny because we love to brainstorm and we want to come up with something new and cool or this or that. But like, and you do sit and brainstorm about it a lot because the fear would also be, what if I want to do this crazy thing? And then, I go through all this effort and it's like, wouldn't fucking helpful. And it's just like,
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
I have like the idea of that. I've brainstormed that up before of having like the walls here, but the tank is another foot past it, and there's all sorts of pumps that I guess you could see it, but you'd have to like really push your face against
Yeah.
the tank.
Yeah. And you can also do stuff with lighting there,
Yeah.
right? So you make it dark on those sides.
Yeah,
So you
cryptic or whatever.
minimize it.
Yeah.
But I've been playing with this for 15 years, and I've been thinking about this new tank for a year and a half now. So we'll see what happens. I hope I get to do it because every time I see a bigger tank or I get to a wild reef, I go, oh man, I just want more space.
It's crazy because your tank is not that big, and it's so much growth. Like I could see, like, oh, I want to do this for fall. There's no room in there.
Yeah, and I'll talk. I did some video of it because I came home and it was like I can't clean the front glass anymore. So it was like I took a video of where it was and like the spots where I couldn't clean it because the coral had grown too far.
Yeah.
And then I went through and I just started hacking shit. Tonight I'll take another video so we have a comparison of what I chopped up and what I didn't. Now it's like, all of a sudden some stuff below has got light. It was like, an inch of coral or 2 inches of coral in a 10-inch area.
Yeah.
Trimming that back all of a sudden lets, twice the amount of light down. So
I mean, that's the same, I garden. That's the same as gardening.
Yeah. Yeah, a tank is never done. I see these people going, if I could just have it like this, I'd be happy. It's dude, now you've got the next set of problems, which is trimming shit all the time.
Well, the other crazy thing is like when corals get super big and like as glorious as that's sort of what I hate about this too, because the more glorious the coral gets, it just sort of means that now it's time to chop it the hell up.
Dude, I've got a Hystrix. Actually, you can see it. Look over my right here over my whatever
Stereatopora Hystrix.
Yeah, that is almost in complete shade.
Yeah,
like underneath an overhang,
and
a little bit of light, and it still grows.
In my experience, they actually don't get that mad with not so aggressive lighting.
No, I thought it was going to croak out, and it's got polyps all the way down. So stupid.
Go on, talk about flow too. I've always thought that as well. Like, so the coral makes, all that dead skeleton body below it, and that's why when I first got the tank, I had 2 MP40s, and it's like,
right,
dude, as you keep your tank, your circulation is going to have to evolve because these corals are like blocking everything up.
Right. I mean, that's why I'm looking at using the squid to get me one more thing. That's why the lock line manifold thing is such a big deal. Unless your tank is big enough that you can, keep it open front to back. So if I go with a 48-inch deep tank front to back, I can't believe, the idea is to have channels in the front and back so all the water can move.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that this Wave Maker, let's see if it'll happen. There.
Oh, there it goes.
It's a puck.
SLW, yeah.
Yeah, the SLW.
Nero, like the AI Nero.
Or the MLW. The profile of it in the tank is really small.
Yeah, it's just a hockey puck.
I've done something interesting with a magnet and some corals to block one of them.
Ah, okay.
But I'm getting into other stuff.